Good afternoon, Professor. My name is Njara Horvath, and this is going to be my video discussing the professional dispositions. So the first question I'm going to answer is, what is the teacher's role in supporting learning, improving planning and practice, upholding professional expectations, and collaboratively advancing the profession? So firstly, the teacher's role in supporting students' learning include creating a positive learning environment free of judgment and ridicule. In my current classroom, I always make it a point to my students that no question is a stupid question or no question is a silly question. All questions have merit. So I don't ever want them to feel ashamed or embarrassed to ask a certain question, because my motto is there's no wrong questions. Secondly, facilitating social and emotional development as well as mentoring students. So aside from imploring them with content knowledge, I think it's extremely important for teachers, social workers, administrators to facilitate students' social and emotional development, because they're growing, they don't have everything figured out. The teacher's role in upholding professional expectations include setting clear standards of behavior and academic performance. I always encourage my students to strive for excellence and always try their best. Also, behavioral outbursts are not tolerated in my classroom. Secondly, provide constructive feedback, giving them glows and grows on assignments. I found that just giving children constant criticism often makes them discouraged, so I try to give them both glows and grows when giving them feedback on their work. Modeling appropriate conduct, how they should dress, conduct themselves, and speak appropriately. Fair and consistent enforcement of rules, applying rules and consequences equally to all students without favoritism. As teachers, we know that there may be some students that are easier to teach than others, but even still, that does not mean that you treat other students unfairly because they may be quote unquote more difficult to teach than other students. The teacher's role in collaboratively advancing the profession include attending professional developments geared towards their area of study or content area. This may allow teachers to implement different pedagogical approaches to content, which I think is extremely important. The second question I will be answering is, what professional dispositions of learners do you currently possess that make you a successful teacher? So the professional dispositions of learners that I currently possess that make me a successful teacher are modeling integrity through my words and actions. I don't expect students to do anything that I don't model first for them to do. Exercising sound judgment and ethical behavior. Demonstrating professional friendliness, warmth, and genuine caring. I personally still keep in touch with some of my students in my graduating class last year because I want to check in to see how they're doing in high school. I created really great bonds with them in middle school, and I don't want to let that go. What dispositions do you need to work on before I enter or continue to work in the classroom? So professional dispositions of learners that I need to work on are believing that all students can learn and should set and support realistic expectations for success. So for me personally, it's not a question if every kid can learn, it's a question of whether they're willing to learn. Because being a current educator, you can give a child all of the necessary tools. You can reach out to parents, you can recommend tutoring, you can have one-on-one sessions with them, you can give them extra time. But if a student does not want to learn, then they're not going to learn. And I like to go back to the saying that you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So I can give you all the tools that you need to become successful, but it's up to you to determine if you are going to be successful or not. Secondly, educators should be sensitive to individual learning and social needs of students and embrace the cultural diversity of the community. Me personally, I believe that I need to differentiate more to individual needs of students instead of teaching to the whole group, because I know that not all students learn or receive information the same way. The next question I will be answering is, what effect could personal biases have on teaching and learning? So teacher bias has the ability to affect student learning, growth, success, and feeling safe in the classroom environment. Biases should be taken into perspective, and educators should recognize that reflection combined with experience leads to growth as a professional. And lastly, reflecting on my own professional dispositions of learners, explain how I will uphold and adhere to academic and professional standards. So I will consistently demonstrate honesty and fairness. I will consistently demonstrate ethical behavior in student interactions. I will admit when I make a mistake, because how can we expect something from students that we ourselves do not do? I will treat everyone fairly and not show favoritism amongst my students, as well as promoting academic honesty. Thank you very much.